This is the final video in a 3-part series, so if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, you should go watch those now. The WABDR is made up of 6 sections. We've just finished the first 4, and the exhaustion is really starting to catch up to us. Okay, we are in Chelan. We've been riding for 17 hours and 50 minutes. We're both in pretty rough shape. The miles and the sleep deprivation are really starting to hit us hard. We both got a boost of motivation when we saw that we had 150 miles to go and 6 hours left on the clock. That seemed possible to pull off. We started Section 5 at about 6 o'clock in the evening. Section 5 is about 104 miles and runs from Chelan up to the tiny town of Conconnelly. Matt and I had, in one training ride or another, ended up riding all of sections 1 through 4 before our 24-hour attempt. Now, as we start Section 5, we head into the unknown. Neither Matt or I have ever ridden sections 5 or 6 north of Chelan before. As the sun got lower in the sky, we started to have the same blinding problems that we had early in the morning in Section 2. About 20 hours and 480 miles into the ride, we hit some pavement near the small town of Carlton. With the end getting closer, it was starting to feel like a real grind, so anything that was faster was awesome. The old remains of this forest fire about halfway through Section 5 were beautiful to ride through, and we appreciated the fact that they paved this road. As the sun started to disappear, we stopped the bikes one last time for some food and water to carry us through to the finish.
We just hit 500 miles even in 20 hours and 35 minutes. We have over 3 hours to do 75 miles as long as it's actually 575.
Here we go, into the darkness for the final push. It's 9:30 at night, and we're still hoping we can make it before midnight to beat the 24-hour mark. I can't tell you much about how pretty the scenery was for the last part of Section 5, but I can tell you it smelled like a swamp, which was kind of nice after all the dusty, dry conditions we'd been in. Section 5 is actually a pretty fun section. We were keeping a good pace as we navigated our way through the unknown territory in the dark. Matt and I had one quick last stop that I didn't catch on camera to drink one final 5-hour energy to carry us through to the finish. At the very end of Section 5, there's a steep descent with a lot of loose rocks combined with large embedded rocks that make a challenging descent. The fact that the left side is a sheer drop-off was a little nerve-wracking as well. The rocky descent at the end of Section 5 had sucked up most of our remaining energy, but we kept riding, and soon we were riding straight through Conconnelly without stopping into the final section. It was 10:15 at night when we started Section 6, and we had 66 miles to go. Section 6 runs from Conconnelly up to the border crossing at Nighthawk. Matt was feeling worse than I was, so he just tucked in behind me, and I was calling out trees and rocks and potholes as we flew through the forest, desperately trying to finish before midnight. As the clock got closer and closer to midnight, we started to see the finish line appear on the map. It wasn't close enough, though.
Okay, it is now midnight. We just missed our 24-hour mark. Still riding relatively close to the end. So, I think we're going to finish. Question is just how long it's going to take.
not making it to the finish by midnight when we could see it on the map was a pretty crushing blow to our spirits, and the drive to make the deadline was pretty much all we were running off of at that point. We continued on and ended up reaching the border crossing 38 minutes later. I was so tired I was forgetting to turn my camera on, but I did manage to turn it on after we reached the finish at the border crossing.
That's it. It's, what time is it? 12:39. So, under 25 hours. Border crossing. That was brutal.
The border crossing wasn't technically open when we got there, and we got a visit from a suspicious border guard who was wondering why we were there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Good, how are you doing? Good evening. Or morning, I guess. What did you say? We just finished the Washington Backcountry Discovery Route. This is the end point. We're going to take a picture and put gas in the bikes and then heading to Warriyo. Turn around. We just went from Oregon to here.
Well, we did the whole thing in one go, and we only missed our goal of beating 24 hours by 38 minutes. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I post a new video every week, so subscribe if you want to see more. And if you want to support this channel in a more direct way, check out my Patreon page. The link is in the description below.